mantra with determination and steadiness must be considered to have already passed the trials of fruitive activities, mental speculation, and mystic yoga. So this is beyond this chanting of Hare Krishna, spontaneous chanting. He's chanting because he wants to. He's chanting because he likes the holy name. He enjoys it. He appreciates it. He relishes it. It's transcendental pleasure. This is real chanting. This is spontaneous chanting. Chanting according to regulative principles is preliminary. It's a practice. But when one is spontaneously attached to chanting the holy name, then that is the perfectional stage. And this may take some time, but it's well worth any effort that we put into it, because this gives the highest benediction. It's beyond liberation, beyond any other form of benediction. The same thing is mentioned in the Adi Purana by Krishna. While addressing Arjuna, he says, "Anyone who is engaged in chanting my transcendental name must be considered to be always associating with me. And I may tell you frankly that for such a devotee, I become easily purchased." This is the price. The price of association with the Lord is constantly chanting his holy name with love. In the Padma Purana also it is stated, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is present only on the lips of a person who has for many births worshipped Vasudeva. It is further said in the Padma Purana, there is no difference between the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself. As such, the holy name is as perfect as the Lord himself in fullness, purity, and eternity. The holy name is not a material sound vibration, nor has it any material contamination. The holy name cannot, therefore, be chanted offenselessly by one who has failed to purify his senses. In other words, materialistic senses cannot properly chant the holy names of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But by adopting this chanting process, one is given a chance to actually purify himself so that he may very soon chant offenselessly. So what does this mean? Especially considering the previous quotation about association. That when one is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or any name of God, he's actually associating with the Lord. And by this association, one becomes purified. One becomes freed from offenses. So one should be careful to avoid the offenses. We've gone over the offenses, the 10 offenses to the holy name, so many times. Also, this is in the Bhakta course on sadhana and chanting. We go over these 10 offenses in a detailed way. So one should avoid these offenses and chant the holy name purely, without offense. And in that way, he will always be associating directly with the Lord. And in that association, we become really happy, eternally happy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended that everyone chant the Hare Krishna mantra just to cleanse the dust from the heart. If the dust of the heart is cleansed away, then one can actually understand the importance of the holy name. For persons who are not inclined to clean the dust from their hearts and who want to keep things as they are, it is not possible to derive the transcendental result of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. One should, therefore, be encouraged to develop his service attitude toward the Lord, because this will help him to chant without any offense. And so, under the guidance of a spiritual master, the disciple is trained to render service and at the same time chant the Hare Krishna mantra. As soon as one develops his spontaneous service attitude, he can immediately understand the transcendental nature of the holy names of the Maha Mantra. See? So this is why we don't just give up all activities and simply chant. It's at least not in the beginning. First, we have to develop the service attitude. See? So we do both. We chant a little bit and then we do service for a little bit. And then we chant and then we do service. And by this combination of two things, the service attitude and the chanting, then we approach the pure holy name. We chant offenselessly. The key statement was back here. If the dust of the heart is cleansed away, then one can actually understand the importance of the holy name. In other words, as long as the dust is on the heart, the dust of selfishness, the dust of possessiveness, the dust of desire, the dust of sinful activities, or misunderstanding of the ontological position of the Lord, one cannot understand this chanting. One cannot understand how important it is. How can singing this little song be more important than anything else in the whole world? How is that possible? Well, it's because this little song happens to have the most powerful holy name of the Lord. The same chant that is chanted in the rasa dance, in the highest realm of Goloka Vrindavan. This is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And especially the pure holy name. When the name is chanted with love, and when it's chanted according to the proper rhythm and the proper intonation. This can't be faked. Nobody can fake this. We talked about this extensively on our series about chanting the holy name. The proper rhythm. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The proper matra, the proper long and short syllables. Just like when we chant Vishnu Sahasranam, sometimes the rhythm is really tricky. Every verse is different. But in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, every verse is the same. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So nice. So anyway, and then again, in the last section, he talks about living in Matra. Second time, 2 chapters in a row, living in Matra. In the Padma Purana, there is a statement about the importance of living at holy places, like Matra or Dwaraka. It is stated there, to travel to different places of pilgrimage means to attain emancipation from material bondage. This emancipation, however, is not the highest perfection. After attaining this liberated stage, one has to become engaged in devotional service of the Lord. After attainment of the Brahma Bhuta stage, liberation, one can further advance to engagement in devotional service. So this attainment of transcendental loving devotional service to the Lord is the goal of life. And it can be achieved very easily for one who lives in Mathura Mandala, even for a few seconds. Yeah, it's astonishing, right? It's the power of the Dham, the holy Dham, the abode of the Lord, the place on this planet where Krishna appears when he comes here. Once in every day of Brahma, which is some inconceivably long span of time. 3,456,000,000 years or something like that. It's a long time. So once in that length of time, Krishna comes in his original transcendental form. Where does he show up? In Mathura. So the importance of this Mathura is very, very profound. And at least once in your life, if you can possibly do it, you should go there, even for a few seconds. And better if you go for a longer time. Like that's where I went. When I went to India, I landed in Delhi, and then I think we spent like 2 or 3 days just like, adjusting the time and everything on it. And then we got on the train and we went right to Mathura. And I stayed there for a year and a half. I didn't go anywhere. Year and a half straight. And when I did leave Vrindavan, I went to Mayapur. So from one dham to the other. And I stayed there for a year. And that set me up really, really well in devotional service. And if you do something like this even once in your life, then you'll be set. You'll be all taken care of. It is further said, "Who is that person who will not agree to worship the land of Mathura? Mathura can deliver all the desires and ambitions of the fruitive workers and of the salvationists who desire to become one with the Supreme Brahman. Certainly Mathura will deliver the desires of the devotees who simply aspire to be engaged in devotional service of the Lord." In the Vedic literature, it is also stated, "How